Hi everyone, it's Adelaide Crows YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the review of our win against Adelaide Crows. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is your first review. Fuck pain in the ass when you stupid ask. If you're returning magpies, welcome back to another video on my channel. Now, how do my reviews simple? Talk about the game, talk about the positives and negatives, and then I do my rating out of 10, depending on the situation as well on top of that. Now, we showed really good heart yesterday. I thought we played really good. First half, we absolutely dominated the Adelaide Crows in a sense of 7 straight compared to 5-6, and I think with that it was good to see Jamie Elliott get back into the team. The morale of having him up forward, I think having 14 disposals as well, 6 score involvement, 6 goals, is a really good sign, and to kick straight, especially when not many could. So I was in tears yesterday after the win. Could not believe it, to be honest. Having to perform at the MCG, or not the MCG, at the Adelaide Oval, where we got a good record now against them. So we beat them in 2018, 2019, 2020, and even this year as well. And we've, at the 4 of the last 5 games, it's been 4 wins and a draw. So we travel well as a group. We've had to get off the charter flights and onto buses as well, because of, we had to show out if the players had the negative tests and their IDs, and to be put through that type of ring to put through. Look, I get it, it's COVID, and that sort of stuff, but we did well to get that job done. And for the South Australian medical officer, what a dumb comment. Now, I did mention this in the comment, like, this has got the attitude of shove it up your ass or type thing, against the odds. And so I like to say, you know what, suck on that one. We played, I know the second, third quarter, I think the third quarter the third quarter we played really well, but the first and third quarter, Adelaide were going to come back, like it or not they were. We fought hard majority of the game. Adelaide were in front in some parts of the game, but we got the lead back. And the way that we used the ball, the way we attacked and we scored, was really good. To score 78 to 73, so 12-6, 78 to 10-13, 73. Now 23 scoring shots, Adelaide had the chances. We deserved to win anyway. I thought we played really well. Jamie Elliott kicking 6, Poulter having a really good game as well, kicking a goal. And you know what, so did Trent Bianco. Now, to be a Collingwood fan, growing up, being out there on the MCG with Dole Thomas, getting a photo with Anthony Rocker as well, to get your first game last week, didn't get the job done. But then for him to kick a goal, wasn't sure he had the distance, to went back and slot it through, to play for a team that you bag for and able to kick your first goal and in a winning game, to do that on the same night, twilight, I think you have to be happy with that. You really do. And I think that's a real good positive in that as well. So, love the win. Up and about, I'm happy, I'm excited. It's a bit of a shove it up your ass to the South Australians, and you know what, suck shit Adelaide. You got to quarantine for 48 hours after the match. So that's always a huge thing. We'll go back into Melbourne. Look, unfortunately, Queen's birthday game is in Sydney, so not much we can do about that. Hopefully we get our lockdown by Thursday and we ease some restrictions and like indoor settings. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty good for ourselves at the moment to get the win. I did say, look, the game against Long, if we can show something out of it, and we showed something against Port as well. But here's a statistic. 2003, we won by 5 points. 2009, in the semi-final, we won by 5 points. 2021, we won by 5 points. So, how many times have we been Adelaide by 5 points? That's 3 games already. Might be more, might be less, it might be just that, but we've had so many close games against Adelaide, it's not funny. So we had the kick after the song Chris Tarrant. John Anthony, or Jack Anthony, whatever you want to call him, kicked the goal from a free kick, and Jamie Elliott put us back in front by 5 points in the most, to get the ball out of the middle. That's a match winner. So that is the way that we go about it. But now I'll go through my positives and I'll go through the negatives. Now, the positive was, for us, I thought Darcy Moore was a positive down defence. I thought he played really good. Jamie Elliott, 6 goal straight, 6 score involvements, 14 disposals, and realistically took 6 marks. I thought that was a positive. Jack Cribbs, 31 disposals, 9 marks, so that's also a positive. The first quarter and the third quarter, they were positives as well. We kicked accurate, that's another positive throughout the game. And Caleb Poulter, 10 marks, 20 disposals, and to kick a goal again, that's a positive as well. And I have to say, these youngsters like Bianco and Poulter are really good positives. They're showing really good signs. Now, Trent Bianco reminds me of a Paul Lacuria. Silky, really good under pressure. Really shows how he played. Our ball movement, that was a positive. I have to admit, that was a lot better. We scored through the corridor, even went out wide. I thought Darcy Cameron held his own really well. That's another good positive in that. Josh Thomas kicking a goal as well. That's another positive. And even Will Hoskinell playing really well as well, on top of that. But our first quarter was a really good signs of improvement. And the reason why I say that is because we played really well against a good team. And Adelaide were a good team when it came to starting off the season really well, but we managed to do a lot right throughout the whole game. Our pressure did drop off a little bit. That's a bit disappointing, and that is a negative in that sense. But to do enough for longer periods of the game. The last quarter, the third quarter in particular, and even the first quarter, it was really good signs. Isaac Craner, I thought he was wonderful again. Braden Maynard's another positive sign. So for him to get the spoil and affect the spoil of a marking contest against Taylor Walker just shows you on how much he can improve. Jack Madgen, I thought Jack Madgen held his own. I think it was 100% disposal efficiency. I thought Rufford held his own as well on top of that. The Adelaide Crows did get back into the game. So they kicked the first goal and Jamie Elliott kicked 4 and Josh Thomas kicked 1 in that quarter. But to end up with 5 goals at half time and to kick 1 in the last quarter, we have to say that's really good signs of improvement. At times we did turn the ball over. That is a negative, where we almost got through. Josh Thomas again involved in that. But I just thought that we played a lot better as a team when we played really good footy. And I think now, going through this game now, Queen's birthday, that's coming up soon. To start the weekend off with a win, that shows me that sets up our season. That sets up for the rest of the year. This is how we need to play, and this is how we got to play going forward. We're seeing teams like St Kilda lose against the Swans, and look, to be honest, they would have thought that they could win it. I didn't. Based on, Sydney are too good. It's hard to stop Buddy Franklin, and he does do the team thing as well. But having said that, we've played teams that top 8 teams from last year, one that's in the top 8 this year, that we tend to match up really well against. The Western Bulldogs, for example, we tend to do that. We did beat Carlton, and let's be honest, we tend to dominate Carlton anyway, so that's always a good sign. But I think that the Brisbane Lions game, kick after the siren, where we lost it by a point, Port Adelaide was one that probably should have won that in front majority of the game. But we fight back to just lose by a point. And the Geelong game as well, because we played pretty good in the second half. Our goal kicking was bad. And Essendon, who I'm coming for now, they're just outside the 8. But we tend to play really good against Essendon. Even the losses that we've had, I think that was the only disappointing loss that we've had this year, and that was Anzac Day, let's be fair. And we beat North Melbourne, who are a rebuilding team, and I think we all knew that if we did lose to North, that was we would have been worse off, that's for sure. But we played the teams that we had to play. Bulldogs, including that. The Giants is another one that they're a buggy team. And I think that was another worst performance, but we were in the game for that. And it just shows you what we can do when we play our best footy. Yes, we've had injuries and we'll get some players back. We've got Jamie Elliott back. Bon McCreary should come back next week. We lost Braden Sire, so maybe that's a like-for-like sort of type thing as well. We've lost Brody Grundy, and I guess the positive out of that, we won without Brody Grundy. So that hasn't happened too often because we always have him in the team. But the positives were, yes, I was one about Max Lynch, and I thought he did a pretty decent job. A couple of times he got outmarked, but I have to say, like, he pushes Riley O'Brien out the rock. It's a free kick, but yeah, it happens to him. Nothing gets paid, so the umpire needs to be consistent on that. But other than that, it was a few negatives. That Adelaide played well in the second quarter, and even in the last and in the second quarter. So we technically, the last quarter, sorry, as well. On top of that was a bit of a negative because Adelaide did kick 2 goals. We're 11 points in front, so the mindset should have been, hopefully, was if we can get 2 or 3 goals in this quarter, in the last quarter, and try and really put the game on the accelerator and really take an advantage of it. Other than that, we got the job done. A win's a win at the end of the day. I'm pretty stoked and happy. Now we have to really show on why that we can play so well against Adelaide, back it up against Melbourne. And I think that's the key to every game that we play now. We've got the bye after Melbourne, and then we got Fremantle at Marvel. If it is crowds in Melbourne, certainly would love to go to it. I don't think we can beat Melbourne, but having said that, even though we got smacked last year, and that was with the 3 games or 4 games of 14 days, and we got absolutely smacked in that, we still got a decent record against Melbourne. So we beat them in 2019 twice, beat them in 2018 on Queen's birthday. Other than that, I think that shows that's 3 wins right there. So 3 out of the last 4 games we've actually won. So we're up for the task. Certainly we'll be up and about. So we got to celebrate the win. Obviously go through the review, come back in Melbourne, train hard. Hopefully we're out of lockdown, and then we get crowds back up and running because COVID's going to hit all the teams pretty hard, especially the no crowds. And that would have cost Collingwood millions of dollars as well, as much as anything. So the rating out of 10 for this one, I'm going to give the boys an 8.5. Gutsy win. To play well for 2 and a bit quarters, nearly 3 quarters of good footy. That's always the start. The ball movement was there. The way that we transitioned the ball from back half to midfield to our forward line was a lot better. At times, our mid to forward connection struggled a little bit, but that's the working signs that we have as a team to be pretty confident in our ability to improve our game plan and improve our kicking as well. The clearances were, I think we won the clearances. Hit-outs, I think, went Adelaide's way, but I think some of our players can have their heads held high and go, right, we did this, we got the job done. Now, for guys like Jamie Elliott, we got to back it up. And the reason why we got to back it up next week against Melbourne is because we know exactly what's going to happen. And I feel like once we dominate a win, and once we play well, once we get our confidence going, we're going to be hard to stop. And you watch the second half of the season, after the Melbourne game, when we're going to the bye, no, do a mid-season review of that, you will see teams are going to find out ways on how to handle pressure as well. So that's the end of the video. Like, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Got to win by the boys. Before I do forget, there is one thing that I do have to show. Because we won, I'm wearing this. That's right. As you can see, I'm wearing the Guernsey. So it's keeping nice and warm today. It is a bit windy outside, but until next time, like, comment and subscribe. Go the Pies. You beauty, we did it again.